Right, so I thought I'd do a very, very quick video, probably a few minutes, of how to create sort of a base for a background. This is one layer, maybe two layers. Let's have a look. Yeah, 2 layers of a napkin. I've taken the top layer off to use in a journal page, and these are the 2 layers that's left. It's got a faint flower design on it, but I don't like to waste them. So I've got my infusions diluted with water in one of the little PaperArtsy mini spritzing bottles, giving it a quick shake. Going to give it a blitz. See how much is on the back. Another blitz. See how much is in the middle. This will stain your fingers, so just be careful. More. Just open it up again. So you can see it's sort of different in different areas. I folded it into 4 because I knew that you wouldn't be able to see it all in one. So we'll fold it up again. Right, now I'm going to scrunch it all up. I will get the colour on my hands, that's alright. I'm going to mop up the ink that's on my craft mat so that it'll get a bit of a different look. Scrunch it up again. Right, now so that I don't make mud, I'm going to go for this one, which is a greyish brown. Scrunch it all up into a ball in the middle here. Quick shake. Give it a blitz. Mop up the ink again. Open it out. And we've got quite interesting effects. Yeah. I might give it a little bit of a more. Right, so there we are. Scrunch it up again. We'll just mop that ink up just so we get rid of it. Right, and then I've got some water, and we'll just give it a bit of a splash with the water, see how that affects it. And we'll leave it to dry. Right, so we're back. We've got our napkin. It's still the 2 plies together. This is where I sprinkled quite a lot of water on while the infusions were still wet, because they are permanent once they dry, but while they're wet they will still move. So let's see if we can find a corner. Ah, there's a corner here that's separated. And we'll very gently, oh, I'll just show you the underside. That's the top. And then the underside is quite pretty as well. So we'll separate, because you get buy one get one free with this. You get 2 different layers, and actually you get 4 looks, because you've got the underside and the top of both sheets. I'll set that aside a minute. So this is the underside of the top. That's the top. That's that one. And then we've got this. I think I actually prefer this. And we've got 4 different areas again. But again, we've got the underside. Not a great deal of difference with this. But if we were doing a small journal page, that would be lovely. But what I will probably do is scrunch it up. Do it like that. And that way you have no control over what it looks like, but you get some lovely torn edges. And these would be wonderful on ATCs. You see, that is absolutely gorgeous. But also, that will be nice on a journal page as well. Maybe if I just put a piece of white card underneath, you'll be able to see a little bit better. You've got this lovely frayed edge, but you've got nice dark marks. This bit you've got a lot more grey, but with a little bit of pink. A lot darker. I think that is my favourite piece so far. There. And the dark bit, got the nice edge there, and then the last bit here. So we've got a nice selection of tissues there to use. What I think I'm going to do is, in my journal, which is getting very, very full. You can see it's exceptionally full. I'm going to find just a fairly blankish, yeah, that one would do. I'm just going to put my protector sheets in, and maybe just do it so it holds it down a little. A bit of a pig zero this. I think I need a bit of something just to raise that bit up a little. I've obviously got my masking tape down the centre, what I'm going to do is use the same sprays yeah, hopefully it should be in shot. A little bit of the dark, a little bit, oh, reacted differently on the masking tape obviously. Let's see, we'll just get a piece of tissue. Obviously this would be nice to use as well. I'll just dab it away a little. Right. I'm going to show you what it would look like just placed on. But I think it will be different with the ones that I've actually broken up, torn up. Once this is dry, I think I will just, yeah, I think I will just brayer on some gesso. It's nearly dry now, so we'll just have a bit of gesso on it. So I'll go with the small brayer, I think, which is actually my seam roller. Right, so we'll let that dry and then we'll add the tissue. That's it, I think we're about in shot. So I've got my yes, who's it by? DecoArt, Americana, decoupage. It's a glue, sealer, everything. So I'm going to use that, and then I've got my nice pieces of tissue, which this has got a definite line, so we'll have to have that cut off. Sure, we're still in shot. Yes, I think we might go with that bit there. Oh, I like this piece. That bit there. Not sure whether. Yeah, I'll get good thing is you can just tear it. And then sort of arrange it and see what you think. I need some paler down the middle. So I think that's a bit strong. Maybe. Yeah, I think that'll do. The bits like that are ideal for the top and bottom, and then you don't get such a straight edge. So I think we'll go with that at the moment. We'll just put our other bits out of the way. Keep the little bits on the top. Let's give it a shake up. Right, let's see. I'll go with this bit first. And I actually like creases, so I actually like to promote the fact that we've got creases in. Because that's added texture, because we might, as I quite often do, add some gesso on the top. Not so stuck on that now, but anyway. Still in shot, hopefully. Just have to keep checking. Now the previous page has got a paper clip on. This corner, I'm just going to work with that. I'm just going to leave it there. And I'll just go over the top of it. That's a really nice bit. Yeah, I like the way that's working in to the page. I wish I'd put a bit of paler piece down here. What we can do is add little bits on the top. We'll go down the centre first to make sure we're into the crease, and then brush out. It's looking nice so far. Need a bit of something up there. As much as I like a little bit of coralling there, just a bit distracting, so we're just going to put a little bit of tissue in there. Let's have a look, see what else we've got. That's 2 down. Just basically keep adding till we're happy. I need a pail a bit, definitely. Need a little bit of white in there. Anyway, what we'll do is we'll dry this and then we'll come back and see what else we'll add. Right, so we're back. Just make sure I've got this the right way up. Yeah. I've still got my protector pages in, but this is nice and dry. I'm loving a lot of it. I'm especially liking this side. This is a little bit, I need to break these lines up a little bit, but I like the fact that I've got some text showing through. I've got this stamp set, which I absolutely love this stamp. It's by PaperArtsy Eclectic. It's by Seth Apter, ESA 28. Okay. So to get that one, let me just put that away. I've got a little bit of gesso on my glass mat and I'm just going to brayer it out with my little mini brayer. Just put that over to one side, out of the way somewhere, so I'll end up getting it everywhere. I must get a baby wipe ready, a damp cloth, because I'm going to stamp with the gesso. I think I'm just, for once, I am going to use a stamping block, just so I don't get gesso all over my fingers. No, it won't stick, because I do freestyle stamping, it's not going to stick. And I'm just going to break up the bits where it's just too solid. It's adding a contrast. But it's also breaking up the areas that are just too solid. and I won't get a perfect impression because of the texture of the tissue, but that's absolutely fine. I don't want a perfect impression. It's just visual texture is what I want. Yeah, just a little bit more up there. Yeah, I think that's what I want. But you must immediately clean your stamp. I would normally clean my stamps later, but with gesso you need to clean it off immediately, unless it will ruin your stamps. It's a bit like acrylic paint, you don't want those on your stamps. A little tip I've got, if the gesso gets in between the cracks, cocktail stick, don't be too aggressive, but you can just get the gesso out from between the cracks with the cocktail stick so that it doesn't bung them up. There we are, just about done. Right, so that, yep, that's dry now. I'll just get rid of that gesso off there. And as you can see, it's brought white into the darker areas. I've got a reasonable amount of greys, but I want some blacks. So I think, yeah, I'm going to go with my VersaFine, because I might just do a little bit of heat embossing as well. So I've gone that way with my stamp. For a change, I might go that way. Do I want to? No, I'll stick with the same way. I don't know how juicy this ink pad is. Oh, not bad. And I'm just going so that I have some depth in it. Quite often people are a little bit scared of covering their background up, but you just need to have a little bit of depth with a good range of tints, tones and shades. So I think that'll do. Let's get rid of my ink pad. Now I'll need a piece of paper to catch my embossing powder. So let's look. So I've got clear embossing powder. I'm concentrating mainly on where I've got the VersaFine ink, because there might be other areas that catch the embossing powder, because the gesso and various other things might be still a little damp. Just take my protector pages out. Right, gather my embossing powder up again, back into the pot. You can see where it's stuck to the VersaFine ink. I'll go upside down again. I may well speed this up. I haven't done so much heat embossing for a while. So what's the thing of, have I got the embossing powder out? Always make sure you put the lid on your embossing powder before you get your heat gun out. Ask me how I know this. Alright, so I'll just heat this and it should quite quickly turn. There we are. So we've now got some nice shiny areas with the embossing powder. Got a little bit of warping with my page. I'm not bothered about that. Yeah, I think all the embossing powder has changed. So I've got a nice start to my page. Now, what else do I need? I think I need a little bit of... I think I need some numbers, etc. So... yeah. Just the odd area with a little bit of interest of numbers. So I've got my very warm ink pad, archive link, I'm just adding random little bits here and there, just because I need a little bit more interest, something a little bit bolder. This is another PaperArtsy stencil. Which is, where are we? PS271. I love letters and numbers, so this is one of my favourites. Yeah, I think just one little bit there. That's it. Yeah, so I think that's a good background. So I just need to find something for a focal point, and then I'll finish it off. I'm not going to add anything too bulky because this book is very, very full. There's not actually a great deal of space left in the book. So it's going to be something quite simple, possibly. Maybe just a Tim Holtz found relative or something. Just rooting through this. This is the field notes one. But I quite like that. I don't know what that's got to do with field notes, but anyway. I do tend to like monochrome. No, I like the angular lines of that. Let's have a look. This is I know this is the big palette bundle. See what we've got in here. I like those two so far. Maybe. Oh, now that's quite interesting. I quite like that. Oh yeah, I like that. No, I've gone off that now. something fairly bold. Sorry, I'm rooting about out of view, looking for something that'll be just right. Oh, I quite like that. Right, so those two, and maybe a found relative. Let's have a look. Maybe a gentleman, I think. Oh yes, maybe him. He's quite definite. Oh, him. Again, I'm rooting about in the background. No. 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 Oh, maybe him. Yes, he's a better scale, I think. Oh, no. No, he's... No, I think a man. Definitely a man. And I think he fits the bill. So I'll pop him down. I'll work it all out, and then I'll come back and you can see the finish. Right, so I think I've settled on this composition. I've just got a little bit of the Tim Holtz Ideology fabric tape that looks like a ruler, one of the found relatives, some of the bits from the big palette ephemera, and a couple of paper clips. I've gone for the shiny silver because I wanted something different to the rust that I've got on other pages, but I've stopped with a fairly monochromatic colour palette, as in reds, pinks, blacks and a bit of brown, because that's what pleases me. I like fairly sort of one colour palettes. So I'll glue it all down and then I'll post a picture at the end of the video. Right, so I finished the page. Try and get it so it doesn't have a reflection. I'm quite pleased with it. I've put on all the things that I said I would, with the addition of a little postage stamp here, and I've got some typed words: dream big, start small. I didn't know whether to put it the other way around, but that's what I've gone with. So hopefully you'll be able to see all the details. Try and get it to not shine too much. So there we are, and I'm very happy with that, so I hope you give the background a go.